Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so very excited to have you here. Today we are going to rapid fire all of the books that I think should be turned into shows or movies. A lot of these are not going to be ones that I absolutely need to see. I will never get over life if we don't get these, but I do have some opinions. I do have some books that I've read, whether I liked them or not, that I do think would be absolutely fabulous turned into either a show or a movie. So I'm gonna go through all these, tell you what I think, if it needs to be a movie, a show, why not, all the things. So let's go. First, this one's obvious, Sunrise and the Reaping. I think that this needs to be a movie because we've gotten a movie for all the other ones. So we probably are. I don't doubt that that's not happening as we speak. But yes, for sure. We definitely need a Sunrise and the Reaping movie. We've got the other ones. We've got all 4 of them. I need a 5th one. Realistically, I need this to be on par with the actual Hunger Games. I don't think that Songbird and Snakes? I don't think that that one was a bad movie by any means, but it didn't feel like part of the Hunger Games series. You know what I mean? It just didn't give Hunger Games franchise to me. It felt off, it felt different, and I know that it's set in a different time period, whatever. I get that we're doing it way later, but still, it just doesn't feel authentic to me. It didn't feel like it was part of the original Hunger Games. It just didn't feel like it was set the same way. But I think that this new one needs to be absolutely just right on par with the OG Hunger Games. I need to feel like we are back in the actual arena, not just this little cage house, whatever that they were in the last one. Definitely, I understand. Just starting off, I get it. But again, I need something good. I need something really impactful. Just, we know what we need. They know what we need. So let's get it going. I put If He Had Been With Me. I think that this would be a fabulous movie. I think it would be like a really sad, heartwarming, not heartwarming, but like a tearjerker movie. I think that that would be a really good movie. Again, I think that they need to do it right though, because if I'm going to watch a movie for this, I want the movie to be better than the book. I don't want to go watch a movie for this and be like, it's fine. It's like, okay, but I'd like the book better. You know what I mean? The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. They need to make a show or a limited series for this one. We all know what they did with Daisy Jones and the Six. I personally think that that was a fabulous recreation of the book. I think that they did a phenomenal job with Daisy Jones and the Six. I loved it. I'm not gonna say that it was better than the book, but it was on the same level as the book, if not better. I'm just being honest. I loved getting to actually watch that. I think that the characters that they picked were perfect. The casting was just fabulous. Everything looked so good. The songs that they made, I don't even know if they made the music for this. I would assume that they had to make the music for the movie. Phenomenal. Absolutely. That's nowhere near what I would have guessed or what I would have thought of whenever I actually was reading the book. Actually getting to hear the music was just, it was so good. It brought it to life for me in a way that I don't think I've ever seen in any book to movie adaptation. So good. Like, they did that. They need to do that with the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo right now. This one I has on here as a maybe because I think that it could be really good. I did not like The Quarry Girls. Okay, I read that, I listened to it on an audiobook. I didn't like it that much. I think that it has potential to be a really interesting movie. I don't know why, something about reading it, it just was different for me. I wasn't visualizing, I was visualizing, I guess, but I think that if this was like a really good type of movie, I think that this could go places. So I'm not saying that I need this. I don't need it, I'm not gonna die without it. But I think that it could be great. Don't Let Her Stay by Nicole Sanders. I think that this would make a really great movie because it's not like a plot twist. You know, I say we could do Alice Feeney, the Rock, Paper, Scissors, right? But that one, I don't know how it would translate for a movie because in a book, you're not actually visualizing anything. You're visualizing it in your head, so you can't actually see the characters, which is kind of like a big point in that book. But this one, we see everything that's happening. We're watching everything as it unfolds, and then plot twist, plot twist, plot twist. I think that that would be a really good movie, personally. I think that if they do it right, it could be great. And I just love that book. I thought it was so good. So I think that they should make it into a movie. I have Summer Broken Rules TV show. I don't know how great it would be as a TV show considering it's just one book. I think that it could live on to be a good summer show like The Summer I Turned Pretty. Summer I Turned Pretty absolutely revolutionized everything for us. It was so great. I like the TV show Summer I Turned Pretty more than I like the books. I said from the beginning, I think that the books were cute. I wanted them a little bit more PG-13. I wanted a little bit more action going on, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like spice-wise, but I wanted just a little bit more yearning. I wanted a little bit more that we didn't get. So getting a little bit more in the show, and I've not watched season 3 yet. I don't even know if it's out. I've not watched season 3 yet if it is out. So I don't know what happens in season 3. I don't know what the extent of things happen, but I think it gets a little bit spicier if I'm not mistaken, just from what I've heard. I'm not saying that I needed the spice out of it, but I just needed a little bit something. I needed a little bit more, and I think getting to watch it, and I think the actors that they chose, just perfect. Everything all around, everything's perfect on it. They did such a good job, and it's actually giving me what I needed out of the book, which does not happen very often at all. So I think that the Summer Broken Rules, I think that they could do a really cool TV show for that, honestly. Since it's only one book though, I don't know how much they could do with it, but I don't know. I think that that's something they could take and then expand on as a show. But I thought that the book was really cute in summary, so I think that they could do the same thing. I think that it could be another hit, but I don't know. I'm not in TV. This one's kind of weird because I didn't understand it at all. But you know, whenever you watch a psychological thriller or a psychological horror and you're just trying to figure out what's going on, like everything's really confusing up until the very end. If it even finds a way to make sense to you in the end, there's all those weird scenes where you're like, I don't even know what this is for. Like transitional clips, but not really. Like for instance, Don't Worry Darling, she had the like dancing and stuff. There was like the water and they were dancers. Like I get the point of it now, knowing what happened, but I think overall it's just really weird. You're watching that and you're like, I just don't know what's going on. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I think doing something like that for Bunny would actually be really interesting, and that way you can visualize it more than just reading it. I think a lot of people were confused reading the book, myself included. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I was so lost. I have no idea what was going on, but I think having that type of reaction to a movie might be interesting. I think it could be interesting. Just something to keep in mind. Something that y'all should think of over there in Hollywood. Tender as the Flesh. I think that could be a really interesting movie. Do I think a lot of people go watch it? Probably not. I think it would be very odd for a movie. I think it might be a little much, but I also think it could be very interesting. The Silent Patient. I think if they made a show out of The Silent Patient, I think that could be really fun. They could draw it out a little bit more. I really don't remember that much about it. I know she was like in a institution or hospital, whatever the case was, and she just isn't talking. And then they're trying to figure out what happened, but she isn't saying anything. And then plot twist, plot twist, plot twist, really good. I think that that being a show, maybe even a limited series show. The Winter Garden. I read The Winter Garden. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I don't know if a book done like that is my type of book. I'm very interested in Kristen Hanna books. I think that I need to read more. That one was a little slow in my opinion. Not trying to be a hater or anything like that, just a little slow. A little slow for me, okay? And I'm already a little slow in general. So reading a book that is slow, a little difficult. I think if they made this a really, really good 2.5 to possibly 3 hour movie and just really nailed in all the details, I think that could be phenomenal. Anything Emily Henry. I think anything that Emily Henry has written has potential to be a really good movie. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. Divine Rivals. I think that this series was really good. I think that that being a movie would just be fantastic. It has ever so slight magical realism. I think that that being a movie, I think very interesting. I think it'd be really fun. I would love to see that. Carrie Soto. I think that this might be too soon considering that the Challengers movie just came out. Knowing that that was a really popular movie, I think that Carrie Soto could be a really great movie as well. But at the same time, I don't know if it's something that they would do, just again, because Challengers just came out not too long ago, and I think it might be a little bit too soon for another tennis movie. I don't know. I don't know if there's any like limitations on, hey, we can only do one tennis movie per 3 years. Not sure, but I don't know. I think it could be really good. I thought Carrie Soto was so good. Loved it. I think a movie would just chef's kiss. But a movie though, not a show. I think that this one needs like a really impactful, hard-hitting movie. I put You Deserve Each Other on here. I think that if they made that into a rom-com type of movie, not like a super serious anything like that, really good. I thought that book was so enjoyable. It was really funny, and I thought that them trying to get each other to start a split up was very fascinating. Them doing all the things that they could to push each other away. Very much How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but just in a different way. How to Lose Your Fiance in as long as it takes, to where I'm not the one breaking up the wedding. Very good concept. I think that would make a really good, not too long rom-com, just done right. You know, like an OG type of rom-com movie. That's what they need. That type of aesthetic in it, that type of filming, just all of it. Still Beating. This one's kind of weird because it is a very weird topic that we were diving into, but I need that to be a Criminal Minds episode, like right now. I don't even care if Criminal Minds is over. I don't even know if it is over, but I need them to reboot the show and turn that into a Criminal Minds episode, like immediately. Immediately. I think that the overall premise of the Still Beating, the like serial killer, whatever, the matchmaker serial killer, I thought that that was a very interesting idea. I liked that idea. The execution of the book though, and the fact that it was all about them figuring out how to do life after that, look, it's fine, I get it, whatever. I needed that Criminal Minds. I didn't need any of the details about how they're figuring out their lives afterwards. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be a Criminal Minds episode. And I cannot explain that any other way, but I need that like now. 13. This book was fine, okay? I thought that the idea behind it was a very cool idea. You're a serial killer, whatever, and you're killing people. You end up in the jury for the trial of the person that you tried to kill, or the person that's getting convicted of the murder that you committed. Fascinating. I think reading it as a book, and especially as a lawyer series book, didn't really care for it that much. It was fine, again, it was really interesting, but I just didn't like the way that it was done fully. I think if they turned that into a TV show slash a Criminal Minds episode, I think that it would do absolutely amazing. It would be fantastic. I would love watching it, but the book, it just kind of fell flat for me. I think that they need to do that into a movie or something. Not a movie, a show. A show, limited series show, or Criminal Minds episode. Again, Criminal Minds, we're booting back up and we're doing these two ideas. Just, I don't know if you got the memo, but that's what we're doing. Yellowface. I think that that would be a hilarious thing to watch in a movie. I think that getting to see it and actually visualize it would be really funny. I think that just overall, very fascinating. I could see this being a really, really good movie, and I could see a lot of people really enjoying this as a movie. I think that we should get on that. Recursion. Blake Crouch. I need this as a TV show right now, right this second. Dark Matter. I thought that the book was very, very good. I gave it a lower rating just because I am so small-brained. I cannot understand it. I can't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand different timelines, parallel reality. Like, I don't get it. They turned that into a TV show. It's on Apple TV. So good. If you have not watched it and you liked the book, even if you liked the book just like mid, watch the show. Very good. Enjoyed it. I had still a lot of questions in the show. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, I don't understand. If he would have done this, and wouldn't this happen in the alternate next, like, it's a show, be quiet, please. You're not gonna understand it. I want to understand it. I did get it a little bit better in the show, but Recursion, again, it's another one of those I just don't understand. I don't get it, but I think a TV show, again, even if it's a short-lived TV show, just one season, of them finding out that all of their memories are fake, or this fake memory syndrome, whatever the case is, so good. So good. That's such a good idea. Me reading it though, and me watching it, two totally different things. I think me watching it would just absolutely send the storyline out of the park. Me reading it, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I just don't get it. I don't get how this is even happening. Show. Right now. Get Apple TV on this immediately. Like, I need this. I need this 20 days ago. I need this. The 7-Year Slip. Let's be honest, this has great potential to be a really good movie. Like a really good, heartfelt, sweet, warming of the heart movie. I need this. I need this now. I really enjoyed the 7-Year Slip, and I think that watching it would make me enjoy it just as much. 5 Broken Blades. I am only one book into this series, so I could be saying this prematurely, but I think that if they made this into a show, good potential. Really good potential. And also, if it's 3 books in the series, I think that they could really, really do a good job with this one. It's not super magical. I don't even know if it's magical at all. I don't know. I really don't think it is. But since it's not super magical and it's not really, I don't want to say it's not a big world or anything. I don't really know the world, but I think that the way that it's written, it doesn't make it seem that far off that it could be happening just like in our world. You know, it doesn't feel like, hey, you know, they're off on this magical world like ACOTAR or anything like that. It really just feels like it's normal, you know, like they're going to a game. I just, the actual meat of the story, I envision it at a ball game, like they're at a baseball game, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think this would be a really interesting series to bring to life. I think that could be really cool. Obviously I've not finished the series, I'm only on book 1, so the rest of it could suck, but I think it could be good. I think that that's something that we should consider. And I think that we should consider that over my last and final thought, which is ACOTAR. Now, hear me out. Actually, hear me out. I am very aware that this is probably not a good idea. I think turning ACOTAR into a movie, a show, I've heard that some people want to turn it into like an animated series. I think that it would be fantastic to have like a Harry Potter style movie for the ACOTAR, or a really, really good in-depth Game of Thrones show for ACOTAR. I do not think that they could do it justice. Genuinely, that's just my honest thoughts. I do not think that if they turned ACOTAR into a movie series, animated series even, I don't think that they could do it justice. And that's why I am so hesitant about saying that. I think it could be fabulous if done right. If they did it right, I think it could be great. Like Harry Potter, I read the first Harry Potter book, and yeah, everybody talks about world building, that there's not much world building, you're not actually visualizing much. I was not visualizing anything while reading Harry Potter, like at all. The castle was not in my brain. I would not have gotten the castle that's in the movie from what was written in the book. I don't know if that's a flaw on my end or what the deal was, but that's just how I see it. So for me, reading about the different realms that they're in, I just not picturing a lot. And I'm not saying that Sarah J. Maas didn't write a good world, but for me, picturing a world like that, very, very small. I'm not picturing a whole lot. So I think that if they did it and they did it right, I could see beautiful things. Like it could just be beautiful and gorgeous. But I don't think that they would do it right. I think that they would just do it because it's really popular and a lot of people would go see it, but they wouldn't really care about putting the effort into it that they need to. So that's why I say I think Five Broken Blades might be a lot better as a show, movie, whatever the case is. I think that that's a lot easier to do than ACOTAR. I think if they did ACOTAR right, if they did the justice to it that they need to, it could be phenomenal. But I don't even want to wish that, because I know the second that they start doing that, they start putting them out, they're not going to be what we want, right? They're going to be missing a whole lot of information. They're just not going to have everything in there, and it's just going to be like a letdown. Or they're going to be way spicier. I could see that happening as well. So that's my thoughts. I think that ACOTAR could be a really, really, really great movie series, but I don't see them putting in the work and effort to making it what we need, unfortunately. But those are just my ideas out of all of the books that I have read just in total. I think that these would actually be so fascinating to see come to life. I think that those might be some really good ideas. Are they gonna happen? I don't know. I'm not in with producers like that. I don't know TV show creators like that. Like, I'm not going to have any influence at all as to whether these become movies or not. But I think it would be nice. I think it could be fun to see all of these as movies, shows, TV shows, Criminal Minds episodes. I think it would be great, but of course I'm not holding my breath on any of these. I just think it could be fun to see all of these in the real world. But let me know which of these books that I have on here you think would actually make really good movies, shows, whatever the case, or let me know if there's any on here that I have that you think would just not work at all. Or also, if you have your own opinions, let me know below what you think would be a movie that you need. But as always, thank you so much for joining me, and I hopefully will get to see you in the next one tomorrow. See ya!